Welcome to Modern Musings, conversations with the maiden, mother, and crone, where we look at ourselves and our world through the lens of the 21st century. Hi, and welcome back. I'm your hostess, Cindy Murray, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Amber Garvin and Kristen Hessler.
Hi.
Hey.
And we are celebrating Independence Day. I hope you're having a great Independence Day as well if you're here in the U.S. And so we're talking about food that we eat at the 4th of July. And, of course, there's hamburgers and hot dogs and things like that, and barbecue that we're all known for. But we also were talking about some kind of quick and easy go-to dinners that don't take a lot of planning, don't take a lot of thought or preparation. We're busy a lot, and so, just trying to find some easy things to make that are satisfying. And oftentimes those quick and easy go-tos are also kind of comfort food, I think. So we're just kind of tossing back and forth some different ideas. And I've mentioned before that I do the HelloFresh, and I will say those are pretty quick and easy. I keep mentioning it, I know, but it's a really easy way to get my meals done really fast, so I don't have to really think about a whole lot because it's already planned. Do you guys have some kind of things that you like to just go to easy when you're like in a pinch, in a hurry?
Well, I don't really have I do like meal planning every week, but there are times when things fall through and it doesn't happen, and I like to have some things on hand, so I usually just have learned to cook from what I have in the pantry. So I have done what I call a skillet, where you just chop up some raw vegetables and add some ground beef and whatever seasoning that you like and call it a day. I like to use the smoked sausage too. Sometimes that's really good with bell peppers and onions.
Oh yeah.
And then serve that with mashed potatoes or something. One of the things that we like to do though pretty often, that's a kind of quick and go to, if Travis is cooking all the time, I try to give him some simple nights so he doesn't have to put all the effort in every single day cooking, laborious meals. We'll do we'll do tomato soup and grilled cheese. That's super quick.
I was going to say mac and cheese is a go-to for
mine.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Tuna, when it's just me, and I want macaroni and cheese, I'll open a can of tuna and add that in with it. Or some hot dog weenies.
Yep.
And
I don't like the hot dogs, but I love the tuna in it.
And I remembered one time at work, one of my coworkers said that she makes her kids the ramen noodles, and she drains the water out of the ramen noodles, and then she actually grounds up ground beef, and then she cooks ramen noodles, and then she drains the water out, adds the noodles to the beef, and puts the seasoning on the meat. And it's like a hamburger helper kind of thing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't really like the ramen thing. I know that was one of my husband's go-to quick and easy dinners.
Yeah.
He calls it ramen surprise. And he'll take, however many people there are, that's how many packages of ramen he'll make or whatever. And just whatever is in the fridge, he will clean out the fridge and dump it in there. And it's...
My dad used to do that. When I was growing up, that was the one thing that my dad made.
It's just horrifying.
He would take the noodles of the ramen.
Food.
Yeah, I know. He would take the noodles of the ramen, a can of Rotel, and whatever else was in there. And it was kind of very similar to the 6-can soup that my grandmother used to make growing up, which is just take 6 cans of whatever in the pantry, and that's a quick and easy meal. And she called it a 6-can soup and added some broth to it.
What kind of... Can you explain more about the cans of different things?
Usually my grandma did a can of tomatoes, and she used the juices that came with it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like a can of tomatoes, a can of green beans, or a can of some kind of beans, a can of corn. a maybe even like a can of corn, a can of maybe carrots, just 6
Just
of
whatever
something.
she had.
Yeah, 6 of whatever she had. She called it 6 can soup, and then she usually paired it with ground beef.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like thinking like beans and I'm thinking of the stuff I have in my pantry right now, and I'm like cream of mushroom, pork and beans,
No, she
corn
didn't.
and tomatoes.
No,
and
it
tuna
was more,
sounds really
it was,
gross.
No, it was more of like, like canned green beans,
Okay,
canned
so I
black
was making,
beans or
like,
whatever.
minestrone soup kind of thing.
Yeah,
That's-
canned corn.
Well, that's kind of
yeah.
like our tamale soup that we used to make. That
Yeah.
it was a can, the big can of like Gebhardt tamales with all the grease and whatever you could scrape off of the little wrappers. And you chop the tamales up into like inch size little pieces, bite-sized pieces. Ranch style beans, cream corn, and Wolf brand chili. And it sounds horrifying. And
Sounds pretty good to me.
It is really good.
it sounds pretty good
it's kind
to
of
me.
kind of bad for you, but really good. What else did we have?
Let's see.
Spaghetti has always been like an easy
that
go.
was always your go-to.
That is really my go-to because if I'm busy, I can make spaghetti really fast and it will feed us for 3 days. So, a little bit of ground beef, some tomato or the spaghetti sauce. I usually doctor mine with a little packet of the dried McCormick spaghetti seasoning and a little bit more oregano because I like mine really oregano, and garlic powder or garlic salt because I really like very garlicky flavored. And then I usually throw like several cloves of garlic in my water with my spaghetti while it cooks. And man, that's just a quick and easy go-to right there. And that was one that I made all the time. I think Amber's making a yummy face over here that I think she must have found something.
Okay,
that she
so I
remembered
was trying to find the recipe for the 6 can soup, and I found one on Pioneer Woman, which is very similar, but I think hers is like a 7 can soup, but it's like a can of meat only chili.
a
Can of kidney beans, a can of pinto beans, a can of black beans, a can of diced tomatoes, a can of Rotel, and a can of corn.
Oh.
And then you pair that with Velveeta.
Oh, so that one's kind of like a cheesy chili thing.
Yeah, like a cheesy chili 7 can soup. And that is kind of similar to what my grandma made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, except she usually put ground beef in it, not meat only chili.
It's really funny because my husband and I have talked about some of the foods that we've eaten growing up, and it's obvious that some of these must have come out in the local newspaper or something, and our family picked up these recipes at the same time, or because we lived in the same region, they're almost identical. So like my tuna casserole is a very unique form of tuna casserole, and that's another one of my go-tos. And it's the big can of tuna, 2 cans of English peas drained, 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup, and a big bag of Lay's potato chips.
And cheddar cheese.
Oh, and then cheddar cheese on
I
top.
have never heard of that one.
Okay, so you mix,
I was with you until you said potato chips.
I know, it's really crazy,
But it's so good.
But my husband's mother made it the same way, and that's what's crazy, and it's really good. So you mix up the tuna with the soup, and then you add the peas very carefully so you don't smash them. Mm-hmm. And you crush the entire bag of Lay's potato chips.
Except for a small reserve.
Oh.
Well, you crush all of it.
Oh, yeah, you do crush the whole bag. Yes.
And then you put most of it in with the pea mixture to bake. and then the rest of it is left as a crumb topping. Okay, so you
Okay.
mix all
cheddar on top.
most of them in there.
Gotta
and
have the
spread it out.
cheddar.
Yes.
And the potatoes are actually very similar. Like if you've ever made a hamburger helper dinner or anything, the little dehydrated potatoes,
No,
it kind of behaves the same way. So
Okay,
the
like a
potatoes,
homemade hamburger helper.
the potatoes rehydrate with the
Oh.
soup and stuff, so they
Okay.
become not crunchy. They're just potatoes, and we do this instead of, a lot of people do noodles or macaroni or something in it, but we do.
See,
with
yeah, I
these
was
potatoes.
listening
Yeah.
for the noodles
Yeah,
because
and,
my family did something similar, but with noodles.
Right, but this is the potatoes are mixed in there, and like I said, it's the big bag, so you're using a lot of potatoes in there. This is not healthy by any means. It is not low cal. It is not low carb, but it's so good.
Or low fat.
Or low
I
fat.
was about to.
And so you mix all this together, put it in there, top it with the cheese, however much cheese you want, and just bake it at 350 until it's kind of hot and then the cheese is melty and bubbly. And then you take it out and you put the rest of the crumbly potato chips on top of it. And it is literally to die for. It is so, so good. And I could eat that like 3 days in a row and not be tired of it. I'm sad when it's gone.
You're gonna have to post that recipe.
Okay, I can post that recipe. It's a really easy one. And
I
like I
wanna
said,
make that now.
It's so crazy because I always thought that was my mom's. My mom made this recipe, and I always thought it was just something that she learned, But my mother-in-law made this same recipe, and I'm like, how the heck,
And I went to my friend's mom's house, and she did it with the noodles, but it tasted exactly like yours,
same,
except
yeah.
for the noodles.
I
Yeah.
don't know where this swap of the potato chips came from, but yeah,
Sounds interesting.
It's good. It's really good.
My so it's funny, like you were talking about that and how Mark's mom and then your mom made the similar thing. Like Jason was we were talking about family recipes. I was talking about with my boyfriend Jason not too long ago, and he was telling me, oh, there's this thing that we make called goop, and it's passed down. And he started describing it to me, and I'm sitting here thinking, this sounds a lot like my mom's goulash. Yeah.
Yeah, they called it goop.
Yeah, they called it goop, and it was like my mom's goulash pretty much, except for they used noodles and my mom used potatoes.
Oh, ours is noodles.
Ours has noodles. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's ground beef, beans,
Tomatoes.
an onion. You cook the onion with the
yeah.
What else goes in there? I usually use some garlic salt in it because I love garlic.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's about it. Ground beef,
Yeah.
beans,
Yeah.
tomatoes, and noodles, and some Lowry seasoned salt.
So, but my mom cut up potatoes, skinned and cut up potatoes, and layered the potatoes on top in the skillet so they could cook in the juices. And when she was done over the ground beef and everything, and when she was done, she put layered Velveeta on top of that. And but Jason's family did everything but the potatoes. Like they do the Velveeta
Okay, yeah, we don't
And
have any.
beans?
There's no cheese
and
in
beans. Yeah,
wow.
beans and
Yeah, there's no cheese in ours, but the beans. I think the beans were
Brain
ranch style
part.
beans, aren't they?
Yes.
yeah, ranch style
Yes,
beans.
because
yeah.
I've made it at home, and I just did regular pinto beans, and I was like, something's missing.
I know it doesn't taste quite right.
You know,
yeah.
you would think that that's the same, but it's
No.
not. It has to be ranch
ranch
style beans.
And if you're not familiar with ranch style beans, they are made in Fort Worth, Texas. And they are a Texas tradition out here. And oh my gosh, we have so many recipes with ranch style beans.
Oh my
So-
gosh, yes.
So, big shout out there to a local business. Got to keep them in business because I
I
love them.
did not know that. I thought those were just a nationwide bean
No,
thing, like Bush's, but
They are made. They are actually canned in Fort Worth.
Wow.
Or at least they were when I was a kid.
they've
so
had
I'm
the
pretty sure-
same marketing, like their
Their
packaging.
logo, yeah,
and
that
stuff is the same.
Yeah,
Well,
the
you
little,
know
Yeah.
not
How
good, but
Texas
the little,
is traditional.
Yes.
So yeah, speaking of like Texas style kind of things. Like a lot of people do Taco Tuesday. That's
Oh yeah,
been a big
tacos.
thing.
Very
Tacos
quick
are a-
and easy
Tacos
tacos
are
are
my
like a
quick and easy thing. Like
always got to have tortillas in the pantry. You can throw whatever in the
yes,
tortillas.
and actually, so a lot of people like to do like the hard shell tortillas, but I always have corn tortillas on hand because you can eat
yeah.
breakfast tacos.
We're very traditional with the tortillas.
You can make a tostada with it,
No,
or
no,
you
we're
can
Texans.
make chilaquiles with it. So I always have corn tortillas
Yep.
in the fridge, and I just buy the giant one, and we just go through them. And so we'll eat tacos. Now that I have Raina, she likes the crunchy ones, you know, the
the taco shells. Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
she
when
likes
I
the
go
shells,
out to
so
a
I usually
restaurant,
buy
I
I'll
did
eat
when
the
I
taco
was
shells.
a kid, like the tacos. She might grow out of that,
yeah.
you know.
I buy them for her. 'cause
I
it's only
never
like
had
$1
them
or
until
something
I was
like
an
that.
adult. I'm
The
serious.
crunchy ones, yeah.
I did not. I grew up in West Texas. Your tortillas were corn tortillas. They're fried in a skillet with some oil, and they're kind of greasy and not very. I mean, they're
Yeah.
really good.
You grew up with Taco Villa.
Yeah, I did. I did. Now that
one
would
thing I
be my
miss about
go-to
West
quick and easy
Texas.
dinner, but it's out in West Texas, so
Yeah.
it's not very quick or
Drive-through
easy.
doesn't count in this podcast.
Yeah, we're talking about cooking at home,
Right.
quick and easy.
And Taco Villa, if you're listening, bring one to Carrollton, Texas. I will be your best customer. No.
Right? I will drive all the way to Carrollton just to get Taco Villa.
So, but yeah, she's right with taco. I mean, Taco Tuesday is a
So,
big thing for a lot
Right.
of people.
And you don't even have to have the taco seasoning packets. You just need cumin, chili powder, garlic powder, and
Pantry staples, pretty much.
yeah,
what is it, cayenne pepper? Or
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
red,
yeah.
red pepper.
So you can make your own taco seasoning.
And I actually use a Morton's chili blend, which is another Texas product. It's made in Pampa, Texas. I got to celebrate my Texas products, you know. But that's exactly what it is. It's just a mix of a blend of those. I grew up thinking it was chili powder. That's when people call for chili powder. That's what people in West Texas use. So, or a lot of them anyway. So that's what we just made our tacos out of that. And,
Yeah.
you know, a little bit of tomato sauce maybe to, you know, give it a little more flavor, I guess. But
Yeah.
those are really easy.
That's one of my go-tos. Like I can whip up some tacos in like 20 minutes. Like the cooking of the meat and setting the table is the longest
Oh, yeah.
task.
Yeah,
I
that's
have
one of my go-tos also. Taco.
chicken, even the chicken ones are really fast because I've used like the McCormick mix for the chicken tacos, and I have another recipe that's for I think it's like cilantro lime chicken or something tacos, or maybe it was coconut lime. I can't remember, but
Are you
they're
talking
really
about
good.
those seasoning packets from McCormick?
No, this one is it's a recipe, but the seasoning
Okay.
packet
I
for the
love those.
chicken is pretty good.
The Grill Mates, McCormick Grill Mates. Man, you
Oh.
just toss any kind of meat that you want. They have about 15 different flavors. They're like in the packets, but they're like, it's for like grilling, but you can bake. Like I didn't grill the stuff for the longest time. I would just get a Ziploc bag, put a package of chicken in it, and then you put the seasoning, and I think it calls for like a little bit of oil and a little bit of vinegar and water, and you make the marinade. And I would just bake a whole pan of chicken, and then like my roommate and I, we were trying to eat a little bit healthier, so we would eat like some rice with it or a sweet potato and then some kind of vegetable, steamed vegetable. And that was always really good, and that's quick and easy, and it's literally like just pulling stuff out of the fridge. One of the things I wanted to bring up was, remember that one time we used your Instapot and we made like some delicious meatloaf almost kind of like thing? Remember, we just put, it was like we used to call them foil packs or hobos,
Hobo dinners,
but
yeah.
it was like in the Instapot. You remember that? That was so
I'm
good.
trying to remember.
It
I
was
don't.
so
That's
like a
another
foil
good
pack is like
Foil pack. That's
usually
another
like
good, quick and easy. Yeah.
a little handful of ground beef, like in a patty, and then some onions, and you can do like carrots.
Yeah, my mother used to
potatoes.
make that in her pressure cooker.
Yeah.
And she layered it. She would put the potatoes on the bottom, then in a whole layer, a layer of carrots, a layer of onions, a layer of bell peppers, and then she'd make one giant hamburger patty on top of that, and then close up the pressure cooker and cook it until it was done. And it's just like cooking a foil pack on the campfire or whatever, but you're doing it in the pressure cooker, so it's really fast. I tell you
My
what,
mom
the
used to
pressure
do it
cooker,
in the oven.
pressure cooker is an amazing thing for quick and easy dinners. And we don't, with today's electronic pressure cookers like the Instapot and things like that, you don't have that fear of pressure explosions or whatever. My mother had an original electric pressure cooker, and she used to cook in it all the time. She could make a pot of beans in like 30 minutes, and they were the best beans ever. And that's an easy way to cook a lot of things. And like I said, you don't have to worry about that pressure building up and exploding like you used to with the older pressure cookers. So that's a good one. And I'm still, I mean, I grew up eating things like Hamburger Helper and things like that. So those are always good ideas too for me. They're not always as healthy because they're pretty high carb.
Yeah,
but
well,
and they got rid of a lot of my favorite flavors. So
the box meals have a lot of sodium in them. So
yes,
you
they
can
do.
Still make the meal at home by buying the things.
Yes,
like,
and
I
doing it
always
separately.
Have noodles. I always have noodles. Like when we run out of noodles, I go buy more noodles.
Mm-hmm.
So because just in case you need noodles for something, or you go, oh man, I didn't plan aside for this meal. I can serve like Parmesan butter noodles or something.
Yeah,
or
with it.
rice. Rice is
Right.
always
we
a
do
good,
we
like,
do a lot of
staple.
brown rice at my house. Yeah,
So you
Pantry
can
staple.
make a hamburger helper if you already have those staples.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just seasoning, a little bit of milk, and like the cheese ones. Amazingly enough, you can actually get that cheese powder at some places, like in a canister.
Oh yes, yes.
Instead of buying like a box of macaroni noodles, but you
Mm-hmm.
can also make hamburger mac with a box of
Macaroni.
Without, you don't have to buy like the box meal. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can do it yourself.
Yeah, it's similar to the tuna mac that I make.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
So,
guys,
yeah.
since I'm single, I kind of have, y'all are cooking for families. Like, it's a little bit difficult for me to cook big elaborate meals because then I'll be eating the same thing for like a week. So I have found, you were talking about HelloFresh and everything like that. I have found that I live right next to a grocery store called Tom Thumb. And if I want something quick and easy to make, and it usually lasts me about 2 days, they have these meals called Ready to Go. And a
I've
lot of
seen
grocery
those, yes.
stores are starting to have those now. I know Kroger has them.
Even Walmart
Walmart
does.
has them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like fresh. You can get ones already made that you can just pop in the microwave, or you can get raw ones that you pop in the oven for like 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And that has been, and they're like maybe $5, $10 for 2 people. So I found that like instead of going out and ordering out food, it's actually cheaper for me to do that. And if my boyfriend comes over, there's enough food for like both of us, and I can pop open like a can of something to go with it. And
Yeah.
that's pretty much my.
We've
quick
done
and
those
easy.
things too, because the like Central Market also, Central Market HEB, they have the little deli or whatever in the thing, and they have all the fresh hot foods or whatever, and you can go get a lot of things there that are really good food.
Yeah.
And I like those. I usually steer clear of the sushi just because I don't know. A lot of people like the sushi, but to me the fish is not that fresh.
Kroger has pretty good sushi, I'm not going to lie. And Market Street does too.
It is a lot cheaper than going to a sushi restaurant, though. So
Well,
it is
you can't
still
beat that, though.
It is still a quick and easy dinner. So
Yeah.
you can buy it in the afternoon and have it for dinner. one of the other things, Chris, going back to the taco thing, Kristen talks about the Taco Tuesday or whatever. We also do like burrito night, where you just cook up some ground beef with some cumin in it and heat up some refried beans, and you make little burritos. We do super nacho night, where we're taking leftover chicken or leftover brisket or something like that. Those are delicious. Well, in fact, when I make a brisket, I usually freeze the leftovers of the brisket, and then we have brisket tacos, which are divine, with a little slice of avocado and maybe some white maybe and cilantro. Oh,
I have. Yummy. So you just reminded me, literally yesterday. Not yesterday. Maybe like 2 days ago. I did a leftover kind of meal because, like, again, Travis, he likes to follow a recipe, and I'm not that way. I can't. I just need to open the fridge and pull stuff out and make my own thing because I'm too whimsical when I cook. So, but I did kind of plan this in advance. We had made a Parmesan chicken, which is where you take like the Parmesan cheese and some breadcrumbs, and you like kind of roll the chicken around in that and then bake it.
Oh, that's really good.
And we did a whole pan of it because, it's cheaper to buy the giant thing of chicken. And so then it was like, wow, there's a lot of chicken left over. Let's freeze it. So we just took it right out of the pan, put it in the freezer. And I was like, next week I'm going to make something with this. So I got a can of Alfredo. And I got a small bag of Parmesan cheese, not the can of Parmesan, but like real shredded Parmesan cheese, and some mozzarella. And what I did was I put a little bit of sauce on the bottom, layered my chicken after it thawed out, poured more sauce on top, so they were like kind of floating in Alfredo sauce, and then I covered them with some Parmesan and mozzarella, and then I took some more of those breadcrumbs. I did like half a cup of breadcrumbs, and I melted some butter. Oh. And then I just kind of like sprinkled it on top so that it had like a crusty top. And then I baked that until it was all heated up and melty. And then we had some noodles, and we ate that with noodles and steamed broccoli. And it was really good.
That sounds really good.
And that was a throw together because I didn't have to cook the meat,
That makes me think of one of my other go-tos, which is they used to be contadina fresh, but I think they're called buttoni now. The already ready to cook tortellini and fettuccine and linguine and stuff like that that's in the refrigerator section, and you can buy the marinara sauce and the Alfredo sauce and vodka sauce, and you just kind of mix and match whatever you like. Those are delicious, and I'll often like pair maybe a chicken out of the deli. I'll buy a chicken and just slice up a little and throw it in there, or maybe put a little bit of red bell pepper or something if I really want to gussy it up. But otherwise, I'll just throw a little mozzarella in with it and toss it around, and there's a fast and easy dinner with the mix it with the salad, or serve it with the salad, and you've got a full dinner right there. And it takes literally like the time it takes to boil water. So they're really good, and they're really easy.
Another quick and easy dinner that my family used to do growing up was we used to make homemade pizza using hamburger buns.
That's what it was. I was like, there was one other thing. Because it reminded me when we lived together.
Yeah, and I used to make it for Kristen all the time.
My mom used to make it for me. So when I realized that you made it, I was like, yes, we never ate it on hamburger buns. We ate it on just
English
regular
muffins.
Bread.
Oh yeah, we did toasted bread, or you can take biscuit dough and roll it out.
Yes, I've made biscuit dough.
Press it out.
And I've made
croissant roll.
What are those called? Bagels. I've done it with bagels before because there was a restaurant, Karma Cafe, an old restaurant that Kristen and I used to go to in Denton, coffee shop, that made it but with bagels. It was like a bagel thing. And so I tried that at home once with the bagels. And you have to kind of stuff the pepperoni and stuff like that down in the hole of the bagel, but it actually is pretty good. But that was like, yeah, when I was in college, that was my go-to.
Yeah, those
other
are
than
really
ramen,
super-
that was my go-to. Was just like popping that in the oven,
Yeah, you
or
pop it in the oven or put it on the grill.
Yeah, grill.
Yeah, my husband cooks them on the grill a lot. Even the Chef Boyardee pizza dough mix or the Pillsbury roll of pizza dough.
Chef Boyardee.
Yes, Chef
They-
Boyardee.
they make a pizza dough.
Pizza dough. Oh, okay.
Yes,
I was
they
like,
do.
you
It's a-
mean Pillsbury?
No, it's a
Oh.
powdered
Oh.
mix for
Oh,
pizza dough.
Okay, I did not know that existed.
Yes, and so you just mix up. It's just the powder for the dough, and you mix it and roll it out, and it comes with
Weird.
the sauce and it's like a pizza kit.
Does it taste like the raviolis?
The sauce probably does. I don't know.
I bet it does.
Hey, I like the
That
ravioli.
was one of my quick and easy meals.
Oh, there we go.
When I lived by myself.
SpaghettiOs.
Spaghettios, Campbell soup,
I
Campbell
know.
soup, and a salad and grilled
Well, I
cheese.
tried to vary it up a little bit when I lived by myself. Don't have to have ramen every day. Well, okay,
Yeah.
I live by myself again now, but now, like, I can't do just a lot of quick and easy because I have such a tiny stomach.
Well.
It's more like a tortilla and some lunch meat, and that's my meal.
Yeah, and see, and I have because of my diabetes, I can't have a lot of the bread, the rice, the potatoes, any of those carbs. They're the pasta.
Yeah, most of
Low
these
carb
quick and
tortilla.
easy
Most of
things
the
that we
quick and
talked
easy
about
things,
were not low
there's a
carb.
lot
Yeah,
of
they're not low
carb
carb.
filler in them. They're not low carb.
So yeah, like quick and easy low carb would be getting a low carb tortilla. And I have seen a lot of recipes lately, like for keto recipes, as far as like pizza like that, using the low carb tortillas and making pizza out of the low carb tortillas.
Oh yeah, that would be good. We did. What did we do with? We did something with the tortilla. Oh, the little wraps. Take the tortillas and make little wraps for dinner. So you can buy the guacamole that's already in the holy guacamole, or
you need a
avo.
little package of them.
Yeah, and or you can use hummus also, depending on whether you want to go with a fresh thing or like a Southwest
Tex-Mex thing,
Tex-Mex
Yeah.
thing or and so when I used to do it as a Tex-Mex thing, it would be spread the avocado, put some ham or turkey or something like that, a little bit of lettuce or spinach, and then some pico de gallo, because you can buy that already at the store mixed up, and cheese, and then you just roll those things up. Great, quick, easy dinner. Serve it with a little fruit or a veggie tray or a salad or a can of soup. We would serve it with the Campbell's tomatoes, or not the tomato, potato soup. Throw a can of Rotels and a little bit of Velveeta in there, and you've got like a Southwest potato soup thing going with it as well. Or if you put, you can do like the turkey or something with the hummus, and kind of use more Mediterranean style things, like maybe some olives and stuff like that, and it's really good too. So there's a lot of great little wrap things that you can make like that.
I know those already baked chickens are really good
Yes.
that way too.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's very easy. Like, and they're not that expensive at the store.
Yeah.
The already baked chicken.
Yeah, the little rotisseries that you get. Yeah.
I mean, if you buy it already shredded, they're way more expensive. I'm just thinking of my local grocery store right now. Like, you can get the whole one for like $5.99, whereas if you get it already shredded up, it's like $8.99.
And that's another thing you can do with those low carb tortillas is take that shredded chicken, a little bit of that pico de gallo, get you some sour cream and guacamole, some
Don't forget the cheese.
cheese.
Yeah, cheese. Gotta
She
have
knows where I'm-
cheese.
she knows where I'm
Binding
going with this.
agent.
and make little quesadillas out of them, and it's fabulous. Those little rotisserie chickens are great
Right.
for
And
that.
if you need it a little bit quicker than that, you can just make tacos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another quick and easy that I do at home when it's just me and I don't want to eat a lot is I I buy a lot of the low carb bread, like the 5 net carb bread from Aldi, which is probably my favorite place to get it. But you can get low carb bread at almost every grocery store now. And I'll cut one piece in half, and I'll make a tiny grilled cheese, just like a quick bite. Or, you know, if I want to get crazy, I'll use 2 pieces of bread and make a grilled cheese and do like half in the morning and half at night.
Yeah. Because you have a tiny, tiny, tiny
Yeah.
stomach. Yeah.
So for those that don't have a tiny stomach, grilled cheese is always a good
Grilled
quick
cheese and
easy.
tomato soup is always a brilliant, quick and easy dinner. It is. Yeah. One of the ones that Mark and I have done in recent years is we like the little, they used to call them German sausages when I was a kid, but now they're called smoked sausage.
Little Smokies?
No.
Oh, no.
We're talking like Hillshire Farm. It comes in a big, like,
yeah.
horseshoe shape, sort of. And that, you know, you get the Polska kielbasa or the smoked sausage, and we'll cut those up and put them out on the grill and barbecue them, you know, like rub them with barbecue sauce, and then serve those with like a spinach salad and some black-eyed peas or some beans or something like that. And that is a really, really fast, easy go-to, because anything that we can cook out on the grill is a lot faster and a lot less mess in the kitchen
Yeah, true.
than if you have to cook on the stove.
Those actually, that type of sausage, I always have that on hand because
we do too. Yeah.
The shelf life in the refrigerator is a lot longer than like just buying raw meat, like raw chicken and beef. So I usually just have some on hand. And then at some point we'll go, ooh, we need to eat that for dinner or whatever. It's, you know, it's coming up on its time. And, you know, those are one of those things, like you can make it a skillet. You can make them into a sandwich.
Oh, yeah,
You
they're
can
great
make
in
it
a
for
skillet with like
breakfast.
fried
Top it with
with some
eggs and
scrambled eggs,
potatoes.
fried
scrambled eggs.
potatoes and onions.
Yeah.
They're really good that way.
I've done that a lot.
Yeah, that's one of my go-tos, and sometimes like we'll just cut it up and portion it out and just have it in the fridge, and then it'll just be there for whoever wants, you know, a piece of sausage. They can toss it in the microwave for like 30 seconds. Boom, you got a hot piece of meat.
Yep. Yeah, those are really great. I keep them on hand a lot just because it is a really fast. I can just open up the fridge, grab one of those, and open up the pantry, and there's bound to be something in there that goes with it. So some beans or one of those suddenly salads or something. Those are really good with it. A little macaroni and cheese maybe.
Yeah, I always have something like that, and I always have eggs, and I always have cheese. That's like
eggs is another great go-to because you can boil up a bunch of eggs and make an egg salad.
Eggs are my favorite.
That's easy.
Or you can cook some white rice and cook some eggs, or like scramble your eggs with your rice and put some soy sauce. And have
That's
fried
like
rice.
a basic meal. Throw some meat in it, or make like get a muffin tin and cook up the eggs and not cook them up. Sorry, get a muffin tin and then mix stuff in with the eggs inside the muffin tin and bake it.
Oh, Raina loves those. We actually wrap half cooked bacon inside of the muffin tin.
Oh, yes,
So,
I've done
like,
that before
you
too.
put like
yeah.
half of the slice in the bottom as the base, and then you wrap the other half of the bacon around, and then you crack the egg inside. We just crack them so they're like over sunny side up easy, whatever.
Right, yeah.
And then we bake them. Sometimes we'll put cheese on top, but we like them so that the yolk opens up while you bite into it. They're really good.
See, that's like a
yeah.
quick
Takes
and
12
easy
minutes in
thing
the
I
oven.
do for work is I'll put like I'll mix it up so where it turns out kind of scrambly, and then I'll put different things in there, and I'll have like a week worth of like egg bite type things for work, and it's way cheaper than getting them from Starbucks.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Another one that we do a lot is Frito pie.
Oh, that one's quick and easy.
That is
I was
so
thinking of Frito pie
easy.
earlier, but then I didn't mention it, so I'm glad you did.
That one is so easy because, you know, you
Or
got a can of
Frito
Wolf
stack
Brand. A what?
Frito Stack Up.
What is that?
It's like a Frito pie, but there's also rice involved and a
Oh
bunch
my
of
God,
other stuff.
yes.
Like it's like all kinds of stuff stacked on top of
We
each
were
other. I don't know
talking
the
about
exact
that.
name
Okay.
of it.
There's a lot of different names for it. They call it Mexican jambalaya at my school.
Oh, yes.
When I was in high school, when I moved
See, my
out
family
here,
called it a stack up.
we didn't have
but-
that in West Texas. And when I moved here, I was like, what the heck is this? And I avoided it all the years that I went to school here until the last day of school. Everyone always talked about it. They were like, oh my God, it's Mexican jambalaya day. Yay. And I was like, okay, whatever. So the last day of school, I was like, okay, I'm going to try it. It was so good. Fast forward, like, probably 20 years later, me and the girls at work are like, hey, remember that Mexican jambalaya from school? Because the other school, all the school districts out here have it.
How funny.
And she was like, yeah, oh my gosh, I missed that. So we started making that at work. Everyone would
Yeah.
bring. So it's like white rice, pinto beans, taco meat,
Fritos, taco
Frito,
meat,
and Fritos, and then
tomatoes,
and
maybe
cheese.
onions.
I
and
think there's cheese and
cheese,
yeah.
olives, any other toppings you want to put on it.
Yeah, and we started adding lettuce, and then it became more like a salad.
Yeah.
Taco salad, you
Yeah.
know, that kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, my family called it Mexican stack up, and like every time we got together, it was the quick and easy thing, like at a family reunion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually in a lot of Latin American cultures because I teach a lot of Latin American students, and I have a lot of Latin American coworkers. And we had a potluck the other day, and one of my Peruvian coworkers brought stuff to make a Peruvian stack up.
Ah,
It was like white rice and steamed potatoes
oh, okay.
on top of white rice, steamed potatoes on top of that, and then eggs on top of that, and then chicken on top of that.
Huh. Interesting.
No Fritos though.
But
No
no Frito.
Fritos in that. Although I think he said that you could use chips if you wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah, Mom just does the can of chili, Fritos,
Cheese,
cheese, and white onion.
white onions.
Yeah,
Yum.
and that's a staple out here in Texas.
Oh, it absolutely
Frito
is.
pie or
Frito pie.
Well, I
anything
mean,
with chili on
Some
it.
people call it chili Frito pie, but
It's Frito pie.
it's just Frito pie.
Well, you can go to like any ball game and just get like a Frito pie.
Oh, yeah.
They just pour chili inside the bag of Fritos
Yep.
and then put some cheese on top.
They actually make Frito bags
So that they open
that
that way.
have like a base
Yeah.
that stands
Yes.
up. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that is like. So if you're not from Texas, chili is actually our state food here, which is
Yeah.
like meat with those seasonings I was talking about earlier: cumin, chili powder, and garlic, and some
Yeah.
something hot if you want it spicy, like red pepper. But that's like the staple of it, and that is literally like Texas food. It's ground beef, onions, and I'm gonna say there's beans in it and tomatoes.
I know.
There
they
is
always,
the
there's a
big
debate.
debate.
There's a debate about
Yeah.
there being beans in chili, and you're not a Texan if there's beans in your chili. But those of us from West Texas say we put beans in our chili. So
Well, you
Yeah.
know, they're like each part of Texas is like a different country or state.
well, we
So-
are. We're huge. I mean, we're bigger than most countries in Europe.
Yeah.
You know, so and I'm not saying that just to brag. I'm just making a point.
but
that
everything in
Oh,
Texas is
is
bigger.
bigger.
We have
It
different
really is.
accents in different parts of
It's-
Texas too.
the
It's kind of crazy.
Regional food is very different, and the geography is very different. The climate is very different. Here in the Dallas area, and this is way off topic, but I'm just illustrating a point. Here in the Dallas area, which is in what we call North Central Texas, we are at about 600 feet above sea level, and Houston, is right there at sea level. And then you go to West Texas. Well, I say West Texas. We call it West Texas, the Panhandle, Lubbock,
That's
where
like
I
the
was.
high desert.
Yeah, you are in the high plains there, and I want to say it's like 3,000 feet above
Yeah.
sea level or
Something
something
like that,
It's a
yeah.
huge change just going across one state, and we're not even in mountains or hills. It's flat,
Yeah.
but it's like flat uphill.
Yeah,
it's
pretty much.
very weird, but yeah, that change it really is a lot different, and the foods, the cuisine is a little bit different. Like the what we call Mexican food or Tex-Mex is different here than there, or down on the border, or and so there are some different things. So yes, there are beans in Texas chili. There. I said it.
You know, if you don't like beans, you don't have to put beans in it.
In your
But yeah, I
chili.
like beans in my chili.
I like beans in my chili.
I just don't want a bowl of meat soup.
Well,
Yeah.
there are things.
That's weird.
On my hot dog, I do not want
Beans.
on
Right.
my hot dog.
Yeah,
I don't
the
want
chili
beans
on a hot
on my
dog, that's
chili
kinda weird.
burger either.
Yeah, that's kind of weird too. I guess you
And
just depend on what
and
you
I'm
want.
okay with my Frito pie not having beans in them, but I do like the beans in it. So if I'm in it, but if I'm just eating a bowl of chili with some cornbread or some crackers,
Then beans are
I
appropriate.
want beans. Beans are appropriate.
So, with that being said, chili is also one of my go-to
Yeah,
meals because
absolutely.
all I need is a can of beans and some meat and some onion and tomato, and I always have all of those things
Yep.
on hand, and
Yep.
cheese.
Yep.
'Cause I
Chicken
eat
chili, that
chick-
is definitely
Oh,
one of my
white
go-to.
chicken. I
white
love
chicken
white
chili and beans definitely need to go in chicken chili. Like
Oh yes, white beans.
I cannot do chicken
No.
chili without beans.
No, white chicken chili should have white beans, like navy beans.
Turkey
or-
chili's good too.
I have not had turkey chili,
Right, it's pretty lean. It's
except
not
for
bad.
when they're using it as
beef.
for beef in
Red-
place of
red
beef,
chili,
yes, like a
yeah.
red chili. But yeah, and I don't like my chili too hot either. I like a
Right.
little bit of
Just a
chili.
little bit of chili.
Well, I
powder,
like
yeah.
chili powder in it and a little bit of the cayenne. And I figure if you want it really hot, you can take some Cholula or something else, and that's the wrong flavor.
Nah.
But there,
Well-
but there are people who like hot stuff in their chili, and
Yeah.
there are other things that you can put in it. But I don't put too much cayenne in it because
No.
I want to taste those tomatoes. Yeah.
I can't do hot stuff anymore.
Yeah.
So like I can't do jalapenos in my chili anymore. Or
You know what? Well, it's not really quick and easy. I was going to say beans and rice, but it's not quick and easy. That's like a set it and forget it kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
beans
we'll have to
you
do
have to
another
soak
episode.
We
overnight.
need to
We'll
do
have
another
to do
episode
a
of that crockpot meals or
slow and
something.
low.
Yes, like different kinds of meals, like
Oh, yeah.
casseroles, crockpot
Oh,
meals.
Yep, a slow
Yeah.
and low.
Well, I think we're like talking about everything but quick and easy meals now. So
Yeah, we could probably wrap it up.
And I think we've listed quite a few things. If you have a favorite quick and easy meal, head on over to our blog and post some of your recipes and share them with us. We would love to
Yeah,
hear
and-
what your favorite things are. Next week, we have our topic is going to be day trips, and Amber is our host. So
Yes, so come back and listen with us and start thinking about fun day trips.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. And we want to give a shout out to Red Door Studios and Creative Audio Tech for our music and our equipment. And don't forget to check out the blogs. We've got lots of stuff on the blogs. If you're only listening to the podcast, you're missing out on half the story. So get over there and check it out, and go over to our Facebook page and, give us some love, give us some ratings on our podcast, and
Like and subscribe.
and converse with us on the Facebook and stuff, because we want to hear from you. We want to
Yeah,
hear
we want to talk
what
to you.
podcasts you've liked, what blogs you've liked. We don't know what you want to hear unless you tell us. So that's it for this week, and we'll be back next week.
Bye.
Bye.